Yeah, Dan, so as I said today, we were talking about county lines and the whole thing with the kids and gangs, obviously, stuff they're getting brought into at the moment. An interesting figure which was brought up, estimated that 4,000 young people now are actually exploited and brought about into county lines. And you're looking at a number of 40,000 young people involved in gangs in this country. So in London alone, 4,000 young people, can you believe that? And it is modern day slavery. You know, there's no other excuse or way of putting it. You know, slavery was abolished 200 years ago. For young people now to be enslaving our own young people, it's disgrace. You know, and
it's crazy. And you know, one of the things that we've seen over the last couple of years with this modern day slavery, the kids are used it as an out to get them, to stop them from going to jail, basically. So you get nicked. So I'll give you an example. We had a kid recently that we were working with, got nicked down in King's Cross tube station about 2-3 months ago, got caught with 97 or 99 wraps of crack and heroin, 15 years old, on bail.
Yeah.
Right? And so he's the modern day slavery, and he's not going to get, all he's going to get, they reckon, I think the solicitors said maybe 6-month referral order, 9-month referral order, and everything's back to normal. Because they use the modern day slavery. So yes, it is modern day slavery that's going on, but what concerns me is that the kids are able to use this as a tool to get them out of the shit that they're in, basically.
Well, you know something, Dan, right? There's an old saying my mother used to say, Jamaican saying, said, puss and dog and had the same luck, right? And what it basically comes down to is, you know, young people, some people think they can use it as an escape route, but it doesn't work out for everyone like that, you know. So if they do think there's a loop in the law to, you know, to throw it out there, or elders are telling them, you know, if they get caught, this is what they're going to say and if it's going to be all right, it doesn't necessarily work out. And you know, listen, you know how it is, you know, the feds and the law system is, you know, designed basically to you know, to fill gaps and fill holes. If there's a loophole for a little while in time, it's sooner or later they'll fill it. And unfortunately, the price that will be paid on the young ones, because, you know, they're doing this stuff. They ain't really benefiting from it. What they think is a benefit is, you know, such a small gain, you know, compared to what they could be doing with their lives in terms of turning things around and, you know, living their full potential. And to be honest with you, Dan, you know, there are certain things, you know, we have, and don't get me wrong, I've done a lot of bad stuff in my life, you know, and I'm never ever going to start having, because, you know, for the rest of my life, I'll be giving back to society. Do you know what I mean? But one thing is, you know, our kids, our youth, man, you know, there's kids as young as 10 years old. They've been put in trap houses and sent out on trains, you know what I mean? To, you know, be sitting down, you know, shotting drugs all day, you know, and as a elder, come on, man, let's have some self-respect for ourselves. Do you know what I mean? This ain't what we're supposed to be doing. Even if you are right, even you are somebody that's, you know, supposed to be that person, right? Come on, man, you know what I mean? You know, this game, the game is the game. You know what I mean? And you can't be bringing in kids, right? You can't be bringing in kids, man. There has to be a line. They have to draw this stuff, you know. Understand, our people, them, you know, generations, parents, grandparents, had it hard here. They paid a very heavy price, to, you know, to just be here in the first place. Now to see our kids doing this to our kids, this is bad, man. This is like, I personally have a bad time dealing with it. I can't digest it, you know, in any way, shape or form. And that may be sound hypocritical because, you know, from what I've done, I smuggled prolific amounts of drugs for many years. And I feel half responsible for these kind of things, you know. In the same way, Dan, with the gangs, you know, I'm seeing these kids, you know, wrapping up into gangs. And gangs is a very historic thing, and it's white and it's black, because white guys dominant used to be, you know, football hooligans. You did have guys from the estates, right, who were wrapped around, you know, different firms, and was a natural thing, especially during the 70s and the 80s, you know. But this postcode gang thing, you know, which has come up, it's just come up suddenly, like I can't even describe it. What it's done,
been like
it's
a whirlwind
for a community.
It's been like a whirlwind, and you know, again, we've worked with kids where me and Simon specifically. I remember we had a kid over in Barnet. He couldn't come off of his road unless he was in a car with one of us. How can you live in society where you have to stay on a road, and he could not go anywhere? Couldn't go on a bus. Didn't feel comfortable walking on the street. Didn't feel comfortable being on a bike. Was only comfortable if he was in a cab or he was with me and Simon. How can you live your life like that at 15, 16, 17 years old?
Dan, I saw this, you know, when I was at Belmarsh, particularly.
Yeah.
I remember speaking to a young guy. He just got a 30-year rec, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was part of a gang. And the ironic thing is the gang was based actually, it was Chingford Walthamstow, you know, and there were two sets of gangs. There was one in at Hymes Park, and there was another one in, where was it? Just off of the Man. I forgot the name of the estate now. But it was like, literally, this is like, you know, this is like a stone's throw. And I was like, well, hold on. So this gang conflict's going on. So what if you want to walk along the Man? Or what if you want to walk along, you know, the high street?
Yeah.
What happens then? And he's saying, well, you know, if you walk along there, you've got to be ready. I'm so, hold on, get ready. So say you're walking now with an adult or a respectable person, a girlfriend, your parent, whatever the case may be, what's going to happen? And it was like, well, if you know, if we see each other, it's on straight away, regardless of any kind of, you know, respect for age, respect for, you know, seniority, nothing, you know. And this is just craziness, because I can't get my head around it. And you know something as well, right? And I remember in 1998, at the time I was putting the Reggae Sunsplash Festival, which was a huge event, and it was in Victoria Park, and it's on the border of Hackney and Roman Road, so it crosses over Hackney and Tower Hamlets, all right? And this was prior any real issues with, you know, the Roman Road and the Hackney guys and the Tottenham guys and all these kind of crews, you know. And I remember what we'd done was, the first thing we'd done was we put on a football tournament, okay? We sponsored a football tournament, 6-a-side, and we brought all the estates in from Tower Hamlets, Hackney, and we, you know, we gave away free tickets to the event. We done meet and greet, and we had a trophy as well, the Sunsplash 6-a-side trophy, you know. And the mayor of Tower Hamlets was on stage. Saracen, one of the gladiators, which was a really popular show at the time, you know, gave out, you know, the award on stage and stuff. And there was a sense of pride, you know, and you know, young people at that time, I felt they really were, you know, it was such an exciting thing to see our young people doing stuff positive and competing against each other in a positive way, you know. And with a blink of an eye, suddenly these guys who are, you know, playing fair competitive football against each other, on them same mistakes, they were warring with each other, you know. It was a lights of guns, shooting, stabbings, and it was just getting completely out of control. And how could it spiral? How could it happen so quickly? You know, how could we let that happen on our watch, you know, as responsible adults, you know? And
it just makes no sense. It makes no sense, you know. People, a lot of these postcode issues, and a lot of these gang members who are affiliated on one street and somebody else on another street, a lot of them have all gone to school together. A lot of them, their parents have all known each other. Because I remember the first one that hit me, that was close to home for me, was in 2000, growing up in West Norwood, where my brother Andrew Sams, who I went to primary school with, he was murdered by another brother that we went to school with. And it's like, well, how can that one work out when we were all cool when we were youngsters? And then what, in 8 years, 9 years time, that suddenly something's changed, that you've ended up being shot, and you've ended up going to shoot one of your boys that we all went to school with, where we all knew each other, we were all out playing on the estates, playing it and had with each other. What's the drama? How can that happen?
You know, well, you know, your guess is as good as mine. And, you know, I really try, and as much as I hate to say it, you know, I think that, you know, the powers that be, the authorities and stuff, you could see you could see it coming, this whole situation. And, you know, with the closing down of youth clubs, you know, an essential cornerstone of society, right, you know, not giving young people activities, not giving them positive things to engage with, you know. And I hate to say it, they're almost putting them on the street corners, you know, to be, you know, sucked in and groomed into gangs. And I'm just saying to myself, you know, if the government or the powers that be aren't doing this, we have to be responsible, and we have to try to do something. Because if we allow, right, this carnage to continue, right, and we have to get in there, and, you know, this whole thing of actually talking to guys who are really, you know, at the helm of this thing, right, and letting them know at the end of the day, look, you know, what we're doing here is, this is highly destructive. Do you know what I mean? There isn't a good ending to this in any way, shape or form. You know, don't get me wrong. I've never been a person, and how could I be a person to tell us, you know, judge how a man makes his living? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you know, people will do certain things, but especially if they haven't got opportunities to do other things, right? And that weighs heavily on me, you know, and that's what needs to be done. You know, we need to give people more options. And even guys that are out there shotting and making supposedly a good living from it, You know, those skills you're doing, the things you're doing now, why not try diversity? Why don't you actually try and work for yourself? Why don't you try to set up a business? It's not impossible. You know, in Atlanta in America, you have more black millionaires than any part of America, because you know why? They set up their own businesses. People aren't frightened to take risks, okay? And it's like people are frightened to take risks. They're white and black, right? If you're from the working class environment, you have to feel that you have to work or get on the road. And why should it be that way? You know, some of the greatest ideas and inventions have come from ordinary people working. A lot of people go to university and all this kind of stuff. You know, it's practical stuff that makes money.
Has he or anything like that? Has he? He's just started up his own Virgin and everything like that. He's done that and not even actually got any GCSEs. And when people actually look on the background, people, because everybody thinks that Richard Branson's he's become this billionaire because he's got these degrees, and no, he hasn't. He's got none of that.
Very simple formula, Dan. You know, and the fact of the matter is this, and people don't get it. And for example was Richard Branson, how he became so successful. And most people who are very successful, the first company they have is very difficult, okay? But once you get a business, which is a strong business, okay, to get other businesses is very, very simple formula, right? And I learned that formula, and the formula is basically, you know, 95% of the stuff that you have to do another business, you've literally already got in place, you know. And it's a question of, you know, when you've got your accountants, your lawyers, and you've got, most importantly, your brand, you know, that contributes to at least 65% of any other business you're going to do. So, you know, Richard Branson had, you know, Virgin Records. He had a good team of accountants, good team of lawyers. Virgin was a strong brand. So to move from there into an airline, all it meant you then had to do was add another element. So the other element that was brought in, you know, was the additional, you know, 35%. Do you know what I mean? 35% came in the form of a new idea, you know. So someone who knew about airlines came into that business using his initial structure and dealt with it. And the additional percentage left behind, you just get someone to do what you're not very good at, because, you know, we're all given good God-given talents. And what happens is this, you know, you can't be good at everything. I'm not a great reader, writer. I kicked out of school at 15 years old. So I won't even start to challenge that part of business. You know, I'll employ someone that's very good at that and who does that really well, and concentrate my time on doing what I need to do at being a creative person. And that is the success of people like Richard Branson. So he can have vodka, he can have a bank, he can have all these other things, because the infrastructure is already there. You can wake up in the morning, have an idea in the bath, and by the afternoon it's a registered company. You know, and that's the same thing with any young person. Any young person is full of creativity, full of ideas. It's just getting that first business off the ground, you know.
I think one of the things that we're also looking at with the young people. So the young people who are shotters at the moment, I think along the lines of what you're saying, and everything's transferable. So if these young kids are able to go out there knowing when to sell the weed, knowing when the product is the right product to buy at the right price, it's no different to going to do stocks and shares, as an example.
Listen, how you're going out and selling a product you can't even advertise. Imagine that, and you sell it. You've got loads of customers, and you cannot even go and advertise it. Can you imagine if you put your hands to real business?
And this is what I'm trying to say, and it's one of our ethoses at the moment. It's trying to make young people understand the skill that you have in what you're doing in your criminal element can be transferred into something that is legit. And the reason why you can do that is because we've all done that within our businesses.
Yeah, completely. 100%.
Look at the change that Simon's gone and done, the changes that I've done, all the companies that we're bringing together. We've all had to go and create that change, a change of mindset from the crap that we were doing back in the day to create what we're doing now. And now look at us, we're sitting down actually having these conversations and talking about young people and trying to create that change. So everything, because people wouldn't have said about you, brother, would they?
Yeah, listen, 100%. Anything is possible. If you put your mind to it, anything can be done, you know. I'm going to try to bring some other people into this conversation, Dan. Remember, I'm a novice at this, okay? As I said, as I mentioned before, usually what you do is get someone who knows what they're doing. But unfortunately, I'm here on my own not to be able to do it. So, look, I'm going to try to see if I can bring someone else in, whoever's in the waiting room, all right? So I'm going to start to throw in a couple of people here. I'm going to throw in, if I can, Rick, and I've got a couple of people who are requesting to come in, and I'm going to try to bring them in shortly. Okay, let me go for this. Let's have a go. Just forgive me for the
somebody on there. I rise from the ashes. Bring me in. I don't know who that is, and
okay, let's see who's I rise from the ashes. Okay, let's try to bring I rise from the ashes. Yeah, I've sent a request. I think I have anyway.
I think. Oh, it's Amy.
Okay. Oh, Amy. Hi, Amy. I managed to do it then. How are you today?
Right. Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah,
Yes, Rick.
got Ricky as well.
Rick.
Fabulous. That's what I like. Got our regular little grouping today. That's brilliant, guys. Yeah, we were just talking about the outlines of county lines and the whole postcode gang thing and that. And, you know, obviously the conversation then sort of travelled, you know, into, you know, young people maybe, you know, trying to handle business, you know, and trying something different and seeing if that can work, you know. What's your take on that?
I mean, I've listened to everything you've just said. And the thing that you were saying about what you said, Daniel, was very interesting. These young kids today that are going out selling, doesn't matter what drug it is, they're entrepreneurs. They're entrepreneurs. And they don't even know it. They're entrepreneurs. But what they're doing is they're doing it in the wrong way. And you said it can be transferred to not legit to legit. But this is what we've got to get in their mindset today is you don't have to do it the wrong way. Yeah. See what a lot of these people, these young kids do today is they don't want to start from the bottom and work to the top. They want to work from the top and stay at the top.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to take that middle ground. They don't want to take the steps to achieve greatness. That's what they don't want to do. They want to do everything easy, the easy way out. Unfortunately, life ain't.
But the thing is you
obstacles and you know.
It's not an easy way out, Amy. It's the hardest journey they're ever going to travel. You know, and that's the thing. They have to rise up to it. It's a very dangerous, treacherous path.
Exactly.
You know?
Why all of us combined is promoting the roller coaster. It's a roller coaster of life.
Fast. I'm just getting some comments on the screen. They're really positive. The community said fast money. You know. Yeah, okay. Interestingly enough, you know, someone just obviously mentioned, can't really say I agree with the kids saying they want to start at the top. And that's a fair thing because most kids don't start at the top. They're going to start at the bottom and they are going to have to deal with the shit that goes with that, you know. And what it is, it's a promise. You're given this promise, you know, you're going to get, you're going to receive. And, you know, come on, I've seen it, man. You know, it's all a spill. It's a sales pitch, do you know what I mean? You're going to get this, you're going to be this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. And it's just a really great way of saying you're going to be a glorified servant, you know what I mean? Yeah, and you know, it's just people have to be real about it, you know, and really know from Jump Street, you know, it's nothing like you would imagine. But once you're on that roller coaster, you know, you're in, and that's it. When you're in, hardest thing to get out, you know?
Well, that's right, of course it is. It's a much harder in the game. It's hard to get out. It's easy to get in, but it's harder to get out because once you're consumed by it, because just think, right, putting it. I'm not a scenario here. You're taking a product of somebody, yeah, and you've got your product stolen, so you're in debt to what you got your product from. Can you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm getting some really good questions coming up and stuff. And one of them is coming through now is ask young folk, right, who their influence are and may be surprised. I think that's really good because it's role models. And I've always said this, okay, if you set a bad role model in your life, okay, how do you expect a good outcome coming from that? Do you know what I mean? And that is something a lot of people set role models because they're based on what they see on TV. They're based on things that in a world that we're supposed to perceive is so glorious and so great, do you know what I mean? But they're actually sending them all the wrong signals, you know, not giving them teaching or good education. They're giving them stuff basically that feeds them crap. They have to have this kind of trainers, they've got to have this kind of jewelry, they have to have this, they have to, I mean, you know, whatever happened, right, to thinking for yourself, you know, whatever happened to actually, you know, using your own brain to make your own choices and your own decisions? Why have we let media dictate to us what we have to wear, how we have to dress, we have to have this or drive this car, otherwise we're inferior. Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, and let me just say as well, a lot of this, so coming back to that question that they just said, we would be surprised. So I've spoken to some kids over the last couple of weeks in terms of what is it about this county life, how do you get pulled in, what is it, how do you work, so on and so forth. One young person said it comes from deprivation, poor background, whatever's going on in the household, not having the father as role model, out on the estate, being one of the elders driving around in their BMW, and suddenly they come and floss to you, maybe a couple of grand, 5 grand, 10 grand, and say to you, look, this is what you can do. And that's the mentality that we've got to try changing around. And we've got to start to become those elders and actually being there in that community and actually trying to create that change for people and actually being the positive elder instead of go see somebody in a BMW with 10 grand in the hand, thinking, right, I can go running up and down the country and doing whatever.
You know, as I said, you know, and the targets are set lows, the aims are set lows. What I'm going to try to do then as well during this conversation, I'm going to bring some people in as well randomly, because a lot of people are sort of knocking at the door and asking to come in these conversation groups. So we're going to do that in a short while. I'm going to take some notes, I'm going to get some intros, and we're going to sort of, we'll manage it. If anyone, you know, is abusive or decides to be vulgar on this channel, obviously we'll reject them straight off of it. But you know.
Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. Everyone is going to have an opinion. But everyone in life is entitled to their own opinion. Okay, and whether you say something's good or say something's bad, someone's going to agree, someone's going to disagree. But the whole conversation of what it boils down to is how and when can we change the mindset of these youngers thinking that it's okay to run up and down the country, like Daniel said, with 10 grand in a BMW. Like, we've got to get their mindset changed to working legitimately and saying it's okay to earn £7 an hour. It's okay to work a week. You know, at the end of that week, when you get paid your first wage, to say, I made this money, I worked for this money, I can go and buy these trainers because I've earned it. Legit. I'm paying my tax, I'm paying my national insurance. I don't have to worry about my door getting booted off by police, by other gang members, or people trying to rob me. You know? But like I said, most young people, not all, they see the elders and say, wow, he's got a gold Rolex. I want that. He's got an X5. I want that. Now, they know by working in Sainsbury's or working in any normal job like a normal person would, it's not going to get them that quick. But they need that quick. But we need that mindset to change, to say, listen, what you talked about with Richard Branson. Richard Branson said, if you can't do something, tell them you can do it. And as you're doing it, find out how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? Can I just interject in this? Do you know who's a very good role model in respects of not a sprint, a marathon? Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle was assassinated because of his mindset and because of his attitude to work, and he's saying not to do what I've done. That's what through his music he's promoting the legitimate life, and the way how to get it, and the way how to change your mindset in order to have your marathon. Do not have your race, do not have your sprint, have your marathon. When you do a marathon, that is when you will get to the top of where you want to get to.
Yeah. Sometimes in life, it's never, it's all a journey. It's never easy.
Yeah, but Nipsey Hussle is a great role model, but unfortunately, he is no longer with us. He's a very, very key element to the what the objective and the narrative.
No, 100%. And I understand about it. With all of that, it is, and going back to what you were saying, it is really how do we start to get to these youngsters and change and create that change mindset?
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's about early intervention. I don't think a lot of people think that we need to be the teenagers, 13, 15, 17. No. We need to be hitting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of year. You have the older brother, ones on the estate playing out still, looking around and seeing on their scooters and stuff. They're the ones that are seeing everything going on. Watching these youngers start that mentality. I want to be like them. So it's all about that early intervention and trying to hit these kids at a very younger age and being hard hitting with them. Because the less hard hitting we are with them, the reality is fixing that mind and trying to create a change of mindset.
This is a very good thing. Prevention is always better than cure.
I'm going to try to bring some people in, okay? I'm going to see if I can just introduce, I don't know how we're going to do this though. Let's have a go. So look, I'm going to try to bring. I was trying to bring in
Brett, well,
Pretty. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Right. Okay. You have to forgive me. Only 3 at a time. You have to forgive me because obviously I'm not good at this, as I did say before. So I'm trying to bring some people in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all new for us to next try and get this one going.
Listen, especially
Bear with
when
us,
Andrew's on
please.
board.
It's really bad for me, guys. So whoever's what's coming up, I'm trying to
Andrew's
actually
at the
introduce
enterprise.
you into this, but yeah, I'm having difficulties. So please forgive me. I will try one more time. Let's see. Okay, right, and it's not going to work, is it, for me? I don't know.
You're gonna have to get rid of one of us.
Okay, let me just drop 1 sec. I'm going to just cut. Rick, I'm going to leave you for 1 second. I'm going to try to do that. So I guess I'll press the button there, and I hold on. Let's have a go. So I'm trying to. Is that the way I do it? Let's just see. No, it's not the way I do it. Right,
You have
okay.
to get rid of one of us.
How'd you do that, Aim?
Right, so there's an X to go onto the top icon.
Yeah,
Top
got the
left,
X. Press the
top
X.
left,
Yeah.
and you have to press X into one
Yeah,
of us.
got the X.
Yeah. Press X
No,
into
are
one
you
of
sure
us.
you want to end the live video? No, so I don't want to do that. Okay, so that's not the X. Right.
Right, so there's a button that you press to get rid of one of us.
Right, okay.
And then
That button,
enter.
I'm going to try to
You know
find
where
it.
we are in the room, where it says in the room?
Okay, right. Let me try something else. 1 second. That's not working either. All right, okay.
Do you want me to jump up?
To be honest, I don't know if I'm able to.
That'd be an idea if someone comes out and then.
Yeah, didn't move go right long.
All right.
We thought you lost you.
Oh, we lost you then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had
Yeah.
someone come through and try and say I'm trying to join the call. But then obviously once I answer the phone, it calls everyone else.
All right. Out and see if it works for you. And then I'll come back in if you need me.
Okay, let's try it quickly, briefly, then, if we can. Right, I'll try again. Right. Let's have a go. Okay, let's see now if you can bring someone else in. Now I'm going to make an attempt to do that.
At top, and then you bring somebody
Right, okay, let's try this. So if I try this, okay, we could be in luck, we might be in luck, but I'm going to have a go. Let's have a go. Let's have a look, Brendan, right. Let's request Brendan, see who Brendan is, right, okay. Waiting for Brendan Nolan, right, okay.
Is he accepted? Yeah, he's accepted.
Okay, Brendan Nolan joined. Where we go? Hey, all right, my friend, how are you?
Andrew, you're right, mate.
Blessed, my brother, I'm blessed, man. So what are you making of today's conversation, my friend?
You see what? I'm just trying to see what really you're trying to do, you know what I mean? Because, like, without exposing yourself too much, I'm really one of them kids that you're talking about. You know what I mean? I'm not really stuck in the game, you know what I mean? Like, and it is my own fault, you know what I mean? Like,
sorry, the thing just, yeah. Can you hear me, my brother?
sorry, my phone, someone's
back.
It's the reception, say, that's it, go ahead.
It's a bit much for me. Someone keeps ringing my phone. Sorry, mate, you're going to have to bear with me.
I can see that, my friend. No, go on, we've got time, man. I want to hear what you got to say.
You see what it is?
You know?
Like, it's a bit deep for an Instagram, do you know what I mean? For loads of people to be viewing, because it's really my life, you know what I mean?
I'm hearing that still, do you know what I'm saying? But listen, you ain't got to put yourself in an awkward situation, you know what I'm saying? But what's important, I want to hear what it is, you know what I'm saying?
You see what?
Because people need to share that, you know?
I see your video last night, yeah? And I related to it massively, you know what I mean? And more times, like, I've never got through on none of this stuff before. I don't really do the Instagram. I don't do social media. You see my shit. It's not really like that.
But it's the platform. It's what it is, isn't it?
Of course. And this is a big thing for me, really, like, jumping out like this, because... And talking.
But that's what I need. We need your voice. You understand what I'm saying?
This is what I'm saying. Yeah, I did message you yesterday, and I didn't get a reply. But obviously, for me, like, I can see that I can make a change. You know what I mean? And it ain't I'm not one of them gassed up kids. Like, I could go clear. I could go clear from doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But it don't make my family proud. You see what? Like, I go to family parties, and the first question that gets asked is, what are you doing? What are you doing for work? Rah, rah, rah. My people are good people, you know what I mean? And I can't tell them what I'm doing. So more times, I don't even really go to family parties, you know what I mean? But there was a situation recently, and like I said, fucking, this is what I mean. I don't know, like, how real I should be talking on this stuff here. Do you know what I mean?
All right, listen to what I'm saying, my friend. Yeah, you don't have to say anything that you think can incriminate you. It's the last thing I want to do. But what you're saying is real, and I want people to hear it. Do you understand?
I really, obviously, I do want to change my life, innit? So, and I have put things in place. Like I said, I can go clear with the shit that I do. You know what I mean? I don't even need to be around to still get it. You know what I mean? But it ain't like when you get it, you start realizing things are a bit different. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. It's hard to talk on it. Like, I want to talk to you like man to man, because I believe like I've got something for these kids that can change it differently. And you see that stuff with Richard Branson and Virgin?
Yeah.
I've done it about 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago. Like I said, I'm different. Yeah, but my mum, like I give all praise to my mum. All praise to my mum. Yeah, she's different. Like, she raised me differently. She raised 4 kids on her own, no man around. Like, we had nothing, but all I had was love in it. You know what I mean? But you see what killed me. See, my mum struggled all the fucking time, all the time, innit? And I'm never going back to that. I ain't never going back to that. Not having no money. I'm not going back to fucking. Do you know what I mean? When you're out with your people, and like, because I got 4 sisters, yeah. And so I've been the only man. Do you know what I mean? Like. And this is me just trying to talk truth. I ain't bigging myself up. I'm not the rest of it, yeah. But like, I had that mentality from young, so I had to get it from my mum and my sisters. Do you know what I mean? I really did have to.
That's real talk.
I couldn't watch it. And you know what? Yeah, my mum said to me. My mum's real. She said to me, "Boy, because I played semi-professional football, yeah. I got kicked out because I was an idiot smoking weed and the rest of it. And my mum said to me, "You're not gonna live in this house. You're not gonna live in this house and not pay no rent. You're not gonna be like, you know what I mean? You've got to be a man now. You know what I mean?" So I was like, it stressed me out. And this is what the kids at 16, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old are going through. Yeah.
They're putting it to them.
This is why people are wondering why they're on the madness, because like, it's not the parents' fault. Of course it's not. But there's pressures that put onto kids at that age, yeah, that they can't deal with. It's like, obviously you've got kids that have got money. Like, I'm from Essex, yeah? I'm from Southend, yeah. I was like one of the only mixed race or black kids in my school year, yeah. So like, the people around me, they sort of had money. I didn't. Do you know what I mean? So I see it all, and that's what I wanted. Do you know what I mean? So obviously I got myself into certain situations, and my life's led the way that it's led. Yeah. I'm 26 now, and I'm like, do you know what I mean? I'm still in it. But like I said, I can go clear, and there was a situation. This is the only reason why I'm talking, yeah. And I'll send you the video after, innit? It changed my life differently, yeah. Because I've done what I've done, you know what I mean? And when I started doing what I was doing, yeah, it was like, because I was sick of football. All the where I'm from in Southend Essex, it's all white people. It's not all white people, but you know what I mean? It's predominantly white people.
I know the area well. I set up a film studio up there.
Yeah, I'm from Southend, so you know.
To help people out of that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like, more times, this is how I got into it, the way that I got into it, yeah. So madness, this is what I mean. Me and you need to talk just like on a level.
Well, I'll tell you what you should do for my brother, because listening to you is a very positive thing, right? I want you, please, yeah, to after this, send us an email, right? info@apfoundation.co.uk, yeah? And I'll tell you what, I'll tell you now, I'm going to take you under my wing, right? I'm telling you that now, real talk, right? Okay? Because you are going to show a lot of young people the way forward, all right? If you want to stop that game, yeah, trust me, right? Real talk. There ain't no bullshit talk. It's real talk.
I'm not lying. Like, the stuff about my life, yeah, it's in my local papers. It's not something that I'm proud of. Like, it's not nothing, no scumbag shit, but like, people really getting caught with boxes and the rest of it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've never been. Do you know what it is? The maddest thing. I've been arrested for petty crimes and stuff like that, but I've never been in jail. All my pals are in jail right now. I'm going to see my pal at the end of the month. He's on day release. So I could really go clear, you know what I mean? But it's for my mum. Do you see what it is? I had a little boy, yeah. I weren't planning to have a little boy because I didn't want to bring him into the life that I was living, you know what I mean? But obviously things happen, and I was with a woman, and obviously we've had a child, and it's played out how it's played out. But when I look at him, I just think, no, this ain't like, I just can't do that no more. And there was one situation.
That's because you want to be a role model.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you something. We're going to change game. I want to bring Dan back in this conversation. That's all right. Could you drop out and then we drop Dan in quickly, yeah? Let me get him in, because I want Dan to be injected into this, because I think this is a life-changing moment for someone.
Go on.
Just,
all right. You're doing well. Congratulations. And carry on your path.
Stay here, Brendan. I'm going to bring in one of our editors, Dan, because this is real talk here. This is life-changing thing we're going to deal with now.
You know what? It's going to get deeper than that, Andrew. I'm telling you, yeah. Because you see the situation that made me want to change my life, yeah. You see my baby's mum, yeah. We was together for like I don't even care. I'll tell everyone online, yeah. Me and her was together for like 2 years, yeah. She knew what I, do you know what I mean, my lifestyle and the rest of it. Obviously, it's more times the girls are attracted to that, as bad as it sounds. But girls
of course they are. That's part of the game, isn't it? That's what they do.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
Part of the lifestyle. And I'm not glamorizing it because, trust me, murders come with them same females. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, I was raised. My mum never brought another man in my household, innit? So when I've got with another woman, I never felt to be the person to fucking parent them kids. Do you know what I mean? So I was like my granddad. I was the guy in the background. Do you know what I mean? I was always there if you needed support, but I weren't going to be that figure that's going to be cringy trying to parent them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there was a situation like me and her ain't been together. There's been a bit of a madness going on, and then she rings me randomly one night, yeah, and she tells me a situation, and all this stuff's been reported anyway, so I don't care if people are going to report it or whatever, try to do social stuff. But my stepdaughter, like I said, me and her weren't with each other. She's ringing me, she's telling me that she's been staying at a crack house, yeah, with some woman that's a crackhead, yeah. I'll send you this video now because I ran through the bando, yeah. I was literally, this is what changed my life, yeah, honestly. So like, and then I start hearing things that she's been smoking crack and heroin, yeah. Madness. She's 14 years old. 14 years old.
This is what's happening to our kids, man. This is like, you know.
She didn't ring me because she knows I'm gonna go off the handle. She rang the police. You know what the police said to her? Oh, we'll keep an eye out for your daughter. We know that road's known for drugs. We'll just have to keep an eye out for her. Yeah. This is her daughter that's 14. She's obviously had an argument when they found out what's going on. She's gone back to this place. Yeah. And that's when she's rang me because she knows I'm gonna find out where it's at. I found out that same thing. This is what changed my mind because I was thinking like, right, I don't care if you want to call me racist or I'm stereotyping or what, yeah. In Southend they have a thing called, obviously, you know about count lights.
Yeah, of course.
I'm thinking if black boys from London have got these young kids taking us out of them down in Southend, running them out of the house, innit? So I'm on some next shit, like thinking like, because I just can't take them violations, you know what I mean? So I'm running through this house, yeah? You might know it, yeah? If you're from Southend, you'll know. I don't know if you know, it's quite well known.
I know your bro very well. Very well.
That's
I know that,
I mean.
listen, that whole,
It's a road
what you're talking about now,
Old Southend Road.
is nothing unstrange to me, right? You know, I don't know if you knew, but in 2013, I built a film studio not far from now to bring young guys in, right, like yourself, like people who are getting wrapped up in this thing, to offer them opportunities in the film and music industries. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, I myself fucked up and I went to prison. Do you know what I mean? But I foresaw a lot of this stuff that's going on there now. And the road you're talking about, I know incredibly well.
Yeah, that's it. So like,
and all them shenanigans, I know about all them sort of shenanigans that's been going on now.
That's what it is. There's boys like from London, they ain't gonna fuck around. So I'm too like I'm ready with my pals, booting off this door, going through it. Yeah. And then like I'm going up in the house and it's like all different doors. So it's like, and I ain't really getting the gist of it. Yeah. I'm not, like weeks have gone by and I'm plotting on this house. And then I'm thinking like about my son, like, because I was thinking like, raw, this woman's taking like it was a woman that's smoking the crack with them. Like when I've done the research and the rest of it, it was a woman, and obviously, and I found out. I'm thinking like, right, what am I gonna do? Like, it's obviously a woman. I was thinking that I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was thinking to make her OD what she done to my stepdaughter. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you the truth, yeah. Look, sometimes in life, yeah, you know.
That's the nasty side of my life. Like, I've really been in it.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, let me tell you, when you go down a certain road in your life, yeah, you can go somewhere you can't come back from. And that's somewhere you don't have to go. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you have to use your brain to take her situation.
Obviously, she's not my daughter, but I can't take responsibility for her whole upbringing. So there's obviously things that I've seen that have gone wrong in her childhood that can't take responsibility. But if it was my son, I'm telling you now, I'll be spending time in jail if that woman done that to my son. I'm telling you that now. I don't care. Like,
well, you know what? At the end of the day, let me tell you the truth. Yeah, the greatest thing we can do is live up to what we are. You know what I mean? And change things. You understand?
Yeah.
And you know what? As well, actually saying, I just got a text through and say there's some. Sorry, to say some very good people in Southend in arts, music, and industries, and it's very true. And I will stand by that as well. As I said, so again, these are places that can be creative hubs. You know what I mean? To put people in a constructive way of life. Do you know what I mean? And as I said, certain situations and people love to bring people down. Do you know what I mean? And they live as vampires off of the others. Do you know what I mean? But as I said, the most important thing, and what you're saying, my brother, is so true. We have to meet. That's very, very important, all right? I'm trying to bring back Daniel into this conversation, but unfortunately, I'm not very tech savvy, so I'm having difficulty doing that. Rick, do you want to help me out with this? What would I press to bring back someone into the call?
Right, so has he requested to come back in?
Yeah,
or
Dan's got him here. Okay.
You got him? Right, so if you request him.
Let's request him. How do we do that? What do we press?
If you click.
1 second.
Can you click on him? And there should be.
Okay, let me try. Okay, so if Dan sends through another message, if we'll do that now, and I'll try to click the message. Okay, 1 second. All right, getting through. Okay, she's at the top. Right, okay. For some reason, I ain't getting that.
See what Andrew as well, yeah? Like, I'm not trying to... Sorry for I keep out loud, I'm taking up your shit and that. But,
right.
See what it is? I'm trying to stay on this negative stuff.
No, listen to me, mate. The negative has to come first before the positive. Do you understand? In order to know where you're going, you have to know where you're coming from, and that's the reality of life. You know?
Because this ain't about obviously the being. Because trust me, drug dealing is addictive. I promise you that now. Like, because after that situation happened, yeah, I had to start looking at myself, thinking, "Raw, like I don't give drugs to kids. I don't do none of them things." Like how I got into was playing football with the lads on Saturdays, and then after you're having a drink with the boys, and that's how it played for me. Do you know what I mean? I was dealing with fully grown men. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't dealing with kids.
You see the game,
that's why
yeah?
I used to always have to like. That's why when my mum was like.
The signal's gone.
The signal's gone, right? Yeah, okay. Trapping, that's a shame that is. All right, sorry, the signal's gone. Sorry,
yeah, what was you saying? Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, sorry, like my mum, like I would try to not justify it to my mum, but my mum would be like to me, "Boy, you need to fix up. Like you can't be doing them things. You're a better man than that. I've raised you better than that. I'm not proud of what you're doing, yeah." And I used to try to justify it to her and say, "Not giving drugs to kids. I'm not
yeah.
a scumbag." You see, like when people run up debts or like, you see what I had one woman on my phone there, and this ain't no lie. She used to spend £100 a day, which is a lot of money. It's like £700 a day. How the fuck do you think people are earning £700 a week? Yeah. And I found out that she had cancer. It was her son that put her onto me, yeah. And I found out she had cancer, and I went sick. I went sick at the fucking boy, and I went sick at thingy. So I had morals, you know what I mean? I had morals in my shit, you know what I mean? So I'd never sell drugs to kids. So I'd always try to justify it and say, like, I'm not that person causing the problem. But then, like I said, the situation with my stepdaughter happened. Obviously, I love her, you know what I mean? And then I'm thinking, rather ain't me putting the drugs in her hands, but I could be putting the drugs in people's hands, like putting them in hers, do you know what I mean? And do you know what it was? My phone kept ringing. After it happened, my phone kept ringing. And honestly, it was like my conscience wouldn't let me answer the phone, you know what I mean? But I've got people to provide for, you know what I mean? So I left it like 2 weeks. I couldn't answer the phone. Honestly, I physically could not answer the phone for 2 weeks. Like, I just felt like a scumbag every time it rang. And I was feeling like I needed to answer it. Because money's calling, you know what I mean?
Of course.
The reality is, at some point in our life, yeah, our conscience has to be our guide, right? And to be honest with you, that's what brought me around to give up the game. Because I thought if it wasn't for people like me, all right, bringing drugs into the country, younger guys wouldn't be able to get their hands on them, yeah?
Exactly.
So at some point, it has to stop at the top, yeah? If you don't stop at the top, it will never stop at the bottom.
No. I'm a bit different though. Sorry, like to say it and that, yeah. Because obviously, like I said, I've been in it, yeah, and I've learned valuable lessons about drug dealing. Because I was that naughty little black kid, yeah, that used to go around robbing other drug dealers and the rest of it, yeah. And then people never wanted to deal with me, really. You know what I mean? People didn't want to really deal with me. So then I come correct. I started seeing all the white boys, like little young white boys, making money because they come correct. They don't like people don't really want to ring someone that's going to talk to him like a dickhead. They want like someone they can say to them, boom, give me this, give me that. So that's like a business lesson I learned right there. You know what I mean? And
see,
the
thing is this, right? At the end of the day, yeah, I understand where it's white or it's black.